Joe.
Soon, they will meet their Judgment Day.
And there you go, lads. What a moment. Welcome to the Irish Wrestling Podcast. We are here to review OTT Scrappermania 8, the weekend that was. And as you saw in the clip leading into the show, the big announcement coming out of one of the biggest announcements coming out of the show was that Finn Balor and JD Mcdonagh, also known to us as Jordan Devlin, will be at the 10th anniversary show on the 26th of October. Lads, Colin and Foxy, welcome back to the show. How are things and Foxy, I'll go to you first. How are you after a massive weekend? Because I'm sure you're absolutely wrecked and your wrist and your hands are probably in bits at the minute.
I was tired. I can't remember some of it. I don't know why, but
because you didn't work half of it. You got out lightly this year. That's why.
I had help this year. Yes, I did.
Tom tagged himself in.
Yeah, we had Tom Scarborough and Daphne from Spain. They're nice enough to come over. So I got a few matches off, which is great. But like now with that announcement, holy crap. Like I was like standing at the side of the stage watching it with everyone else, and I found at the same time.
You didn't know at all?
As everyone else. I didn't know at all. So
did anybody was it just Joe and
there was a handful? There was
only a handful of people that knew.
I said to Joe the day after, I'm like, could you not clue us in a bit, or like giving us the heads up? We could have done something on it,
no.
No way.
No, we could have been prepared. Even that there was something. He said he didn't even tell his family. So there was literally like a handful of people. Mm-hmm. It was done and ready to go based on the approval coming through, which came through on Thursday night, late on Thursday night. So
from WWE,
so they got to go ahead Thursday night to be able to that they could say the lads were going to be on the show. So for people who are saying like that, like God, there's not enough time, and then tickets went on sale. There's 2 months to the show. The approval only came through on Thursday. They announced it on Saturday, and then like you're just about 2 months to the show, so like you need to get the tickets out there and all. So like I know a lot of people were saying that I wish I would wait a few weeks or wait for payday or whatever.
Not this time.
That kind of stuff. No way.
No,
not this time.
No way. I dipped into my savings. I straight into the credit union and I was like, right, I'm going. I don't care.
Yeah, the same thing with meet and greets as well. Like everything's kind of up in the air as far as I know. Like with the approval only coming through on Thursday and tickets being sold, when the tickets go on sale?
Friday.
Yeah.
So like what, like a week later? Like there's still so much logistics to go through, and I'm 100% sure that the question was asked. It's just waiting for that approval and stuff as well. And like just to let us in a little bit more, like their opponents are going to need to be approved as well when that's decided, and everything has to be approved. So it's not a case of I did see stuff of who do you want to see them face? It's like, well, like it would be great to have them face certain people, but like as well, WWE might not approve.
Exactly.
Everybody, so it has to be a team that gets that approval and stuff as well. So there's a lot more that goes into it than just can we have them on the show? Okay, they're on the show, and let's put them in a match against people. Absolutely. And let's put on a meet and greet. There's a lot of red tape to get through.
There is, like, it's a big risk for WWE because there's always a chance the talent can get injured in a match. They can get fucking injured slipping on a bar soap in the bath. Like, but they're, like you said, the people, whoever they face, whoever is their opponents, like, they're going to have to be up to a level that WWE are happy with. Like, so I know people are throwing out names already, like somebody like Sean Maxer Guinness, who trained with Balor in Japan, like, who's well up in that style of wrestling that he's accustomed to, so would be comfortable having him and Matthew in that match. Whether it is that match, I'm not sure if it will be, because will the titles be on the line?
I think that's the one that's most, like,
logical.
Yes. I think that's the one that makes the most sense. Especially if the champion's coming over, or the social leader champions when they get here. I think it is the one that makes the most sense out of anyone, apart from maybe bringing in an import team. But then, like, you can't bring in, again, like, you bring in another signed team. There's, like, that throws up other issues then as well, you know. So there's
a lot of questions that need to be answered. That's for sure. Like, it's like you said, there's a lot of red tape that has to be jumped through. You have to be waiting for approval. So we can speculate to our heart's content about who we would like to see them and who would make sense to put them against, but that might not be the case. It might be a case of, like, right, we might have to import a particular tag team because these are the ones that WWE probably have their eyes on and want to see, can they mix it up well with current WWE, like, talent. And it's not a knock on anyone that's here in Ireland. It's just, it's business. And like, I am just as clueless as everyone else, so I'm excited to see, like, who gets announced as their opponents. But, like, would I love to see our lads mix it up with them? Of course I would. Like, Sean Max Guinness, it makes sense because he's trained with both of them. He's tagged with both of them.
It's a great story there, isn't there, with Maxer, like.
Like,
it's
almost like a what if. Like, what if Maxer had gone, like, with them? But then again, you never know. BDE makes sense because they're a heel tag team, like, so it just. But you wouldn't rule out the likes of the Freshness either. Like, Freshness are equally as good, like, but would it make sense to have them against that level? I don't know. I don't know. And, like, again, this is just me speculating. It could be anyone.
How do you decide the referee then for that? Do you just fight to the death the day before or the morning of? Like?
I don't give a fuck. Like, if they turn around and say, look, they're bringing in one of theirs, like, to do it, fine. That's absolutely fine. Like, I'll gladly, because it gives me a chance to learn from someone that's currently in WWE. But if I'm fortunate enough to actually be able to ref it, yes, like, I'm excited for it.
Like, if it's you and Tom reffing that show, and you are standing on the side of the road and you're having decided who's reffing you, and there's a bus on the way down the road, like, Tom's getting fucked in front of it, isn't he? Like,
there's no rock paper scissors for this match.
No, like, none of that. No, Tom knows this. Tom knows that. Like, no, we're in Ireland. Like, we're in Dublin. It's me. It's gonna be me.
just to clarify, like obviously WWE are on a European UK tour that week and the week after. They're in.
I think it's actually UK. I think it's the week before.
No, it's like, isn't it? Last week of November, last week of October, first week of November. There's dates there, but they're back in Dublin a week later.
I think they're over. I think they're over. Then they're back. Then they're back again.
Oh, really?
I was having a quick look, and there's dates in London, I think, up until like the week before. I think that London is the last one. I'm not sure what day it was. And then they have American dates, and then they're back. Then we have the show, but then they're back again like the following week, the first week of November then. So it looks as if they have a week in the States, either side of them being in Europe.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is a bit of an odd one now. As far as I know, and so I was told, is the lads need to be back for Raw. That's what I heard.
On Monday,
the lads need to be back for Raw. So I think it's a case that if there is a Belfast show, which I think there is, like they're not going to be on it. No, like they're gonna be flying Saturday night, Sunday morning.
That's a once off. Like
You wouldn't get them for.
You could. It's hard enough. Like it's hard enough that we were able to get amazing that we could get them even just for that appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, but if you try to push your luck and ask for can we have them for 2 dates or 3 dates? Like, good luck to you. Like, then it's a whole renegotiation about everything.
That's a big expense as well. Like it wouldn't be cheap to get. It's not cheap to get them for one night. Never mind trying to get them for
exactly. Like I know the boys want to do it.
Of course,
They probably wouldn't be realistically charging what they could get, just because they want to do this so much. But I don't know. Again, there's a lot of stuff that we don't know anything about. And I imagine we probably won't know anything unless we're meant to know.
Yeah.
So
I'm just looking here. The last date of the UK of the European tour is 16th of October. They're in Manchester, and then they're back into US dates as of October 18th. They're in South Carolina, Pennsylvania, New York, right through, and then November 4th. Then they are back in London. So
crazy.
That's what's listed on the WWE website. So it is the week before and the week after that they're on this side of the pond, but there are dates in between that they need to be around for. I think is a Crown Jewel or one of them falling around that time as well, maybe the week before.
It's a week before,
So they're probably in Saudi, back to the States from there, and then the lads are over here then for that one day.
Mental.
Yeah,
that's some schedule.
Again, like it just shows how much like that they're probably really pushed for getting that date themselves to be willing to take up that sort of travel. Like it's very rare you hear about that type of travel, and I know we've heard it with the likes of Ospreay and stuff. His schedule is like that, where he's all over the place, but he's always making sure he's getting home for a day or so, and that seems to be the case here. They're after putting in that one day that I wouldn't be surprised if they even flew in Friday night, Saturday morning, and then they were out then later on.
Private jet. Funded.
I don't know if Cabray is funded.
An OTT private jet with OTT written on the side, not the WWE
transatlantic private jet.
Oh, the Air Iron one.
You think he has access to a private jet? Like, nobody's rich.
You rub shoulders with Michael D and get the presidential one.
Meet and greet tickets on sale next week, €1,000 each.
Imagine. It'll be hard just on a scale of like it's not just WWE arrange the meet and greets. It's not that easy like where you can just say Joe's like, oh yeah, we're going to arrange meet and greets for 3 to 4 o'clock. It has to go through the PR companies. It has to go through Fanatics. It has to go through a lot of different companies before they can they'd have to have somebody on site with the talent as well. They wouldn't be able to just be there because somebody could get a picture with them holding AEW merchandise or something where they're not supposed to be doing stuff, which somebody will try and do. There's people out there who want to try and like, oh, look at me, I'm cool, I've got AEW merch with a WWE talent, like, so there'll be somebody on site to prevent stuff like that happening. So they have to factor in getting somebody from the UK talent agency or even from America to come with them, so everything's kosher. So it's not going to be as simple as book them for a meet and greet.
Yeah.
But they are going to be expensive if they do that.
Like again, we don't know anything.
Yeah.
We can speculate till the cows come home, and if we're meant to know anything, we'll find out when they want us to know. Yeah. But until then, let's just enjoy it for what it is.
Absolutely.
We are going to have currently main roster contracted tag team champions who just so happen to be Irish boys.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have them appear on an independent show.
Amazing.
Under WWE's approval. How crazy is that?
That's crazy. Even though, if you think about it, for night one of Scrapper, or for the Dublin show in Scrapper, you had Danhausen and AEW talent on the show winning the title. You had TNA talent who are currently champions. They weren't defending the titles, but winning matches. And you had a WWE announcement all on one Irish, independent show like that. You think, sure, something like that would never happen. If it was going to happen, it happened in one of the big American indie shows or something. But the fact that it happened there on that night was something special.
Yeah, I think we've had it a couple of times before where we've had WWE tie-ins, but it's always been like the NXT type brand. Like we've had them from UK or US. I remember looking at a show a while back. I can't remember. I'll probably have to think about it. But we had NXT, Talent, AEW, and New Japan and TNA all on the same show. And I remember talking to Joe about it in an interview that I did, I think, a few weeks later. And he was saying that like no one else, like there's like probably one other promotion in the world that could probably get the approval to do that, like because so many of them had tied themselves up, like the likes. I think it was around the time where like Progress and ICW and had kind of like made their allegiances to WWE, and they weren't approved then for New Japan people or AEW people, where OTT was stayed as they're independent and they had approval from these different companies as well. And I'm sure that there was a lot of red tape in that, like that you can't put them with certain people or they can't be in the same matches and stuff like that. But to have them on the same show was just ridiculous. And the same with this. Like I think this is, correct me if I'm wrong, Foxy, this is the first time that we're gonna have a WWE superstar in a match.
Yes.
On a show.
Yes. Because we've had NXT UK, we had TNA, we now have had TNA champion. We've had New Japan related, Dragon Gate, Pro Wrestling Noah, like remote AAA, AEW. Like we've virtually had every major promotion at some point come in and work for us, like, and we've been very fortunate for it. But like this be the first time where you have someone from the biggest company who is currently like in one of the main storylines, our tag team champions, and they're going to not only appear, wrestle on our show. Like it boggles the mind like how fortunate we are with that. But that also stems from like building up good relationships with people over the years and treating people really well, especially like in regards to what you were asking before. Like some of them worked out where people made the commitment to do the show, then got signed. Yeah. So therefore, like we were probably one of their last commitments of the indies before they went full on with a promotion like TNA or WWE. So that's usually how it worked out sometimes. So, but still.
Gerry and her twice.
Yeah. It's weird.
He's going for double.